So in 2021, I wrote one email that to date has made me $32,000 and that continues to make me money month after month to this day. So I know you want the email. I'm going to read it out to you. And before I get to that, I want to tell you the 4 steps I took that allowed me to write that email easily, authentically, have it be received so well, what happened after I sent the email, and how it's made me tens of thousands of dollars. So, I guess I'll spoil it a little bit. The email was a reply to a business coach's newsletter, pitching myself to be a guest on her podcast. And she said yes. And being on that podcast introduced me to a new audience. And that's how I've made $32,000. Okay, let me tell you what I had to do before I was ready to send that email. Number one is process perfectionism and shame somatically. So, for those of you who know my story, you know that I worked in nonprofit before getting into somatics and that I made a big mistake in nonprofit and that shame from that mistake was so crippling that it would literally take me a week to write a single email, and I would be editing and re-editing and perfectionating. And with this email that I wrote pitching myself on the podcast, I know that I wrote it in probably 30 minutes or less because I sent it the exact same day I received the email. So I received the email from the business coach from her newsletter. I replied. I received it at 4 a.m., which I was sleeping, and I replied by at 3:37 p.m. that next day. So I'm pretty sure I just received the email, felt inspired, replied, press send. So I was able to get out of that cycle of holding my breath and second guessing everything. And the way that I did that is through somatic tools that can help you to process shame and process all of these painful emotions that lead to perfectionism. And I'm going to be teaching you exactly how to process all of that in the free 3-day training that's called Feminist Millionaire Energy. It's a 3-day training, and the first whole day is going to be on somatics. So you're gonna learn all of that for free. And I don't think I've linked it in my bio yet, but I will link it in my bio ASAP. So you can jump onto that. Or honestly, if you are interested, go to the link in my bio, jump on my newsletter, and then you'll get all of the information about the 3-day training. You'll know how to sign up and get this somatic tools for perfectionism and shame for free. Okay, number 2, the second thing I did was process the fear of investing in myself. So I pitched myself to be on this business coach's podcast, and I didn't learn how to pitch in university. My university degree is in linguistics. So this wasn't in my skill set. So when I started my business, I had to learn how to sell and to pitch myself. That wasn't a skill that I had learned before, other than like job searching, just trial and error job searching. I wasn't good at pitching myself in this more informal way that can be the case for podcasts. So I took a course on authentic selling. I had hired a business coach. So I had invested thousands and thousands of dollars, which obviously paid off. This one email has created $32,000 so far, and it's continuing to make me money every month. But at that time, it was very scary I think I invested like $2,000 or $3,000 in this authentic selling course, and then my business coach was at least $6,000, and I know I renewed with her a couple times. So I had been investing thousands and thousands of dollars of learning the skill of pitching, which is a super valuable skill. So you have to process the fear. I've also made some bad business investments, like I hired one business coach that fired me. So that was not a great investment into a business coach that fired me, but I also invested in some business coaches that were super helpful. And so I had to process that fear and learn to invest in myself and learn how to pitch the elements of a pitch in order to be able to write this email that continues to make me money every month. 32K and counting, which is amazing. Okay, step number 3. We're also going to cover fear of investing in the 3-day Feminist Millionaire Energy training that's free. So make sure to sign up for that. We're going to go more in depth in all of this. Obviously, I can only do so much in this quick podcast / TikTok live. Okay, so if you want into the Feminist Millionaire Energy training, go to the link in my bio, sign up for the newsletter or the link in the description. When I post this as a podcast, I will put the training in the description so you can get it easily, quickly. Step number 3 was I had to learn how to process jealousy somatically. So part of the story of getting to be a guest on this podcast is that my business coach that I was telling you about, who I invested thousands of dollars with, she got to be on this exact same podcast before me. And she told me that she was on the podcast, and I felt like shit. I felt terrible because she was on the podcast and I didn't get invited to that particular episode. She was on an episode with like 3 or 4 other people. And I was super disappointed and felt super jealous that she got to be on that podcast. And I just let myself feel jealous for a couple days. But I always say that jealousy is actually, it points you in the direction of where you want to go. It tells you what you care about. And being able to process it and work through it got me to the point where I could joyfully pitch myself to be on that same podcast. And it actually made me believe it was possible, because I thought, if it's possible for her, it's possible for me. If it's possible for her, like, why wouldn't it be possible for me if it was possible for her? So that was another powerful thing. And then working through that. So by the time I got the email that inspired me to pitch myself to be on the podcast, I was in a grounded, centered place. Okay, this is the step 4 is joyfully writing the email. So I'm going to read the email out to you. This is what you all have been waiting for. I know. So again, the context is this business coach sent out a newsletter to her whole audience, and it inspired me to pitch myself. I'm not going to read her email. It's too long. I'll just read my response and you'll kind of get the gist of her email. So this is the email. This is exactly word for word. The email has made me $32,000, and that continues to make me money every month in my business. So I wrote back, love this, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. If you ever wanted to do a podcast episode on how to complete the stress cycle after doing an Instagram live or posting something vulnerable so you can heal and also keep marketing, I'd love to be a guest. I'm a mental health professional trained in core energetics and help my creative spiritual clients work through anxiety and shame so that they can be more connected to marketing and making money. I'm also happy to talk about this personally and how I have had my first 5-figure month after joining your business program in January. Let me know if this would be a supportive topic to your community, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. And thank you so much for being the amazing leader that you are and helping me towards the spirit of my business, doing what it wants for me. Bryn, my name. So that is the word for word, the email that made me $32,000. And she wrote back the same day and said, I love this idea, and put me in touch with her and an assistant to get me scheduled on her podcast. And I remember being so nervous recording that podcast because it was like a bigger platform than I'd been on before. So those are the 4 steps: process perfectionism and shame somatically, process the fear of investing in yourself, invest in the resources that are going to help you do what you want to do or learn how to pitch, that kind of thing. Number 3, process jealousy somatically. And then number 4, the last step was joyfully write this email using some of the skills that I had learned. And we are going to cover all of this in even more detail in the Millionaires and Feminist Millionaire Energy Training. Maybe that's too long. Someone told me to just call it the Millionaire Energy Training, which I also like, but I like Feminist. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to cover all of this in this free 3-day training. The training, let me grab my calendar. Should have been more prepared. The training starts March 20th, Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then we have 3 days in a row, Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 3 p.m. to 4:30, where you're going to get this free training. The first day is all going to be about somatics, so it's going to be actually teaching you the tools that help me process my perfectionism, shame, fear, jealousy that were holding me back from doing what I needed to do in my business. The second day, we're going even deeper. We're going to do some kink-based tools that are super powerful and can help you overcome money blocks even faster, even more efficiently. And then the third day, we're going to integrate ChatGPT and AI and how those can help you overcome money blocks, fear of marketing yourself, fear of pitching yourself, so that you can pitch yourself wholeheartedly. Obviously, this pitch was 2021. I didn't use AI. I didn't use ChatGPT to help me do this particular pitch, but as of 2025, ChatGPT is helping me with a lot of pitching and also overcoming the fears of pitching, the nervousness that comes up. So I'm going to teach you how to do that. This training is 4.5 hours of powerful shit that's going to skyrocket your business. It's absolutely free. It's absolutely no strings attached. I am going to be telling you about how to work with me deeper if you want to, but this training is all for you, all for free, and is going to help you write emails that make you tens of thousands of dollars. Isn't that so cool? One email, like less than 500 words, has created so much money in my business, and you can do that too with these tools. I want that for you. We need more feminist millionaires on planet Earth, especially now. There's so much fucking shit. There's so many dumpster fires, which is why it's important to me this training is free. and is super valuable. You're going to get so much out of this free option. And I can't wait to help you overcome these things so that you can make more money, so that you can take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your people and your animals if you have them, and also be an ethical steward of wealth, because we know right now there are some unethical stewards of wealth, to name a few. Mr. T. Rump and his squad are stewarding wealth in a really scary and terrible ways. And so I want to help you build wealth so that you can steward it in ethical, healthy ways, and so that we have money in the hands of feminists, intersectional feminists, amazing, creative, spiritual folks like you who can fight against these forces of fascism and beyond. So, sign up for the training. It will be linked in the description of this video, and it's going to be so fun. Okay, can't wait to see you there. See you March 20th, 3 p.m. Eastern. Put it in your calendar. Sign up for the training. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.